Uh. Alright. This is GSL Whirlwind. This is a big map. I think this is the biggest map in the tournament pool right now. And in any tournament pool. I think this is larger than Atlanta Spaceship. But I'm not 100% sure, so do not quote me on that. I know it's very close. It's tied very closely with another map. But seeing a wide ramp, seeing as this is ridiculously large, this is a pretty good map for Hellion play. And those of you that know me know I like Hellion play. I actually, in my college league, there was a PBT earlier that when I was playing against the Protoss was on my team, so when I was playing against the Protoss to practice for this match, I opened up with Hellions a couple games. And he was like, "What? But the person who he ended up playing went for double factory reactored Hellions, and ended up taking the game because this is a map that really allows that style to work quite effectively." I'm not saying that mech would be viable. I'm saying that Hellions early on can deal a lot of damage and kill a lot of probes. It does look like this barracks will be slightly proxied. This is like a macro Rex. This is a... I'm going to go ahead and just call this a Tasia Rex, because he does that all the frickin' time. Tasia and Jakshi. It was like a fad that went on for a little bit of time. Tasia never got the memo. He still does it. It really went out of style, but it's okay, because he is better than I will ever be at this game. So he can do whatever the hell he wants. And he gets a free card. Alright, so there will be a gateway. This is not going to be Nexus first here from Archon. And he's even going to go for 15 gas. Or 16 gas, my bad. Without another... Huh. He doesn't have another pylon going down. He's going to need to cut worker production. This is interesting timing here. If this is something that's standard, I'm like horrifically bad at this game. But I think this is a variation that is, I'm sure, has been done by a pro now and then, but it's not something that's mainstream. But I actually like it. It's very greedy. You do get your gateway out to try kind of be a oh shit button. You need your oh shit button. For Zerg players getting their pool before they get their hatch, in case your hatchery location is pylon blocked. For Protoss, against any sort of early proxy barracks aggression or some sort of early pool, they need to get their gateway down before they get a Nexus up. So this just acts as a contingency plan. The Cyber Core is going down, and we actually have a second gas as well. Most likely this will be for sentry production, because as I said earlier, this is a pretty big ramp. It's a pretty big ramp. So if you're not going for, if you're not, what? I think that was in the wrong chat. If you're not in, I lost my train of thought with that. Damn it. I'm sorry. Alright, so this is going to be one Rax, followed by a CC, followed by 2 additional Rax. Oh god! It's Rax 4 and 5. So, this is something that Bjorn actually used recently in the GSL in his last season's round of 16 game. He was playing against a Kespa Protoss, I forget who it is, but it was effective, namely in the sense that he killed a ridiculous amount of his opponent's workers, which allowed him to follow it up pretty much however he wanted to and still win the game. If this goes unscattered, it can deal a ridiculous amount of damage. It puts you ridiculously far behind in tech, though. With these 2 gases, most likely we'll be seeing a Robo sometime soon, or some sort of forge, double forge production. Double forge at this point is pretty greedy. I'd imagine we're going to see a Robo first. But it is Whirlwind. I mean, if you're going to get away with something, you might as well try for it on Whirlwind. A lot of Chrono Boost going down on the next side here. 29 probes at this point in time. But with mules, as he does have 2 of them, yeah, he'll get that income. Marine's going to work on the neutral supply depot. We do have a pylon going down. Any proxy location. This is a little bit of a delayed 4-gate. The timing on the additional gates could leave something to be desired, yeah, as does the control of the Zealot, but it's going to get away, so Archon is boss. Oh, shit. I am turning myself to busy. I restarted my client, which means I'm a horrible person, and you get random beeping noises. Oh no, the Zealot does die, unfortunately. So now he just needs to warp in continued Stalker. He needs to go all Stalker all the time. Ooh, and not lose them like that. Nice Marine control. He actually nets himself 2 Stalker kills, which is... Oh my god. How's he going to defend this? I don't... Oh, and the Warp Gate isn't quite finished yet on the additional... Oh, this Nexus is going down. There's no way he can... There's no way he can save that at this point. With 2 Zealots forward, too, he cannot continue to push up here. This is not looking good here for a Protoss player. It's okay, though. The game isn't lost at this point. Oh, he's actually going for it. He needs to stop those bunkers from completing, though, or it will be the end, regardless of how many units he gets out. I like the fact that the 2 Zealots are flanking. They're actually going to kill all of these Marines here. And, wow, that bunker is completed within. Very nicely done. That was a little bit of poor control on the Terran's part, and good decision-making and timing on the Protoss' part. But here's round 2, and this is something... It's not going to stop, man. Once the fun gets rolling... Oh, no. These 2 Stalkers are out of position here. This is fun for the Terran, mind you. Protoss does not want any part in this. I'd love it if he warped in a couple sentries, but he's supply blocked again. Oh, no. Waiting on that 1 Pound to follow us up, and only the Stalkers will be able to catch up here. The goal of these Marines is to kill probes, to try and limit his opponent's economy so he can't outproduce him and out-tech him. Yeah, here we go. Now, here come the probe kills. 17 already killed this game. I'll pull away that tab so you can actually see what the hell's going on. And, oh, that was a pretty nice force field. Unfortunately, the Marines are able to skirt past. That was a good force field. That was money right there. That was an MC force field. And yeah, so the factory, the engineering bay, they're just being started now. The robotics facility, already here. He's already producing Immortals, which I really don't think he should go for. Immortals are nice to break the bunkers, but there's no bunker. His opponent's just going primarily Marine. Which, Marines are actually pretty freaking good against Immortals. Alright, so, Tarson did indeed hold, and now we have a Warp Prism on the way. Never mind, this is awesome. He's going to do Immortal drops, or he's just going to drop some Zealots in the middle line, or no, you need to control it! Alright, wow. That was very nice cover there. Nice recover, nice recover. He needs to warp into additional Stalkers, though. These sentries have no DPS. It's laughable how much they suck. Concussive Shell has been completed, too, so he cannot continue to push in there. I love him to just get a Robotics Bay, get a 3rd base, and try not to die to any sort of counter push. He's ahead at this point. Behind a little bit in the worker lead, but his tech is just far superior. His opponent does have double upgrades now. If he doesn't go for a timing, or try and take in another base before this is up, the Terran's going to get back into this game. And he is kind of ahead from an economic standpoint, the Terran player. Yeah, so these are the Zealots that I was talking about being warped into the mineral line while he's pushing the front with the Immortal. This is too sentry heavy here. The Terran player should have focused the sentries. They're all kind of like half hit points. Very nice force fields there, and we do have 4 Zealots being dropped into the mineral line here, and 4 additional ones being warped in. Terran player is running out of units right now. He's building additional reactors on some of his racks, just now getting his production underway, and he does have 6 barracks. Oh, this is a lot of SCVs, though. This is a bit of an overcommit by our Protoss player. He's going to lose an Immortal in the process, a couple sentries. It's not something he can live without. But it might be at the cost of this orbital. And a lot of SCVs were killed there, too. 13 workers have been killed so far by our Protoss player. And Damn Good is going for it, man. He says, like, bit by bit 2.0. And after realizing this, Archon's going to get about 40 SCV kills if he holds this correctly. The Zealots come in, but he doesn't have any Stalkers to deal with these forces. So he can... Oh, that's pretty nice segmentation of the units there. He does need another force field, though. Quickly, quickly. Didn't quite get it in time, and he doesn't have any damage. He really needs to be careful about... He can't lose these sentries. Probes do come off the line, but you do not want to trade probes for SCVs in this position. Oh, he he needs a force field on the ramp. Lovely. This is a good engagement for him to take. Hold position on all of the probes to minimize the way that the AI is working for the Terran player. And behind this, he did actually lose his Warp Prism, unfortunately. But here comes the rest of his opponent's army, and this is unbeknownst to the Protoss player, stimming forward now with the SCVs. The Terran player is in such a good position, picking off the Immortal. All of the sentries, three Stalkers left to the name of the Protoss player, and the Colossus is just barely falls. However, with an additional Warpin, all of these Terran units are low. I love this probe versus SCV battle going on. Alright. Woo! This is one of the most ridiculous games that I've ever casted. We have 5 workers for the Terran player to the 28 of the Protoss. Mules are pretty good, but unfortunately the third base was cancelled in order to continue unit production. If he hadn't chased up that ramp, he would have been in a good position, but these units have stim, they have combat shields, they have 1-1. Protoss, sitting on 0-0 upgrades, he's making probes right now. He thinks he's done it, he thinks he's won the game, but turns out that's not really the case. He needs sentries at this point. He needs something to stall. There is a sentry being warped in right now, but look at the Terran units. 23 army supply to 26, but the units tab tells a different story. All of these units have stim, and there's not a Colossus out on the field. Yeah, all of the units are getting picked off here. There's one Stalker to deal damage for the Protoss. All of the probes at the natural are being sacrificed. The force field does go down on the ramp, but there's only one Stalker to be able to kill them. And the sentry, it's not going to be warped in time. This force field is just barely going to go. No, never mind. Force fields are OP. I just forgot. Sorry. Ooh. Oh, the Warp Prism does not get focused down, so that is something to save the Protoss. The Terran's focusing on just like pure unit production. He knows what's up. However, there is a Colossus out in the field now, and with this force field, I don't want to say the Protoss is in a good position because he's really not at this point. The Terran is caught up in worker, and he has a ridiculous amount of production. He can't really use it all, and he's actually getting close to mining out. This is something that I had yet to really branch off on. And the stims, without any medevacs here, all of these units are continually taking a ridiculous amount of damage. And he doesn't want to stim again. No, the Colossus does make its way out onto the field, and with enough energy for 5 force fields, this could be a pretty good engagement for the Protoss. Always even focus firing down those injured Marines. Protoss actually... Oh god. Oh, that was... No. That left something to be desired. That was a bit of an overextension there. If he had gotten another Colossus, maybe, it would have been a good engagement, but those additional Marines with the surround and the medevacs to heal them, it's a little bit too much. On an aside, I would love to see Jerry Lewis cast StarCraft 2. And all these Marines getting dropped all over the Protoss forces. They're being dropped piecemeal though, so the Protoss does have a chance. His lone force field has been used up at this point, and with the medevacs healing them, these gateway units cannot take on these Marines, especially not with that Stalker. He needs his probes. He needs his probes in here. He can actually take this if he pulls his probes. Nah, the units are all getting focused down. This game is now over. It's okay though. Archon can still fight, and this was ridiculously... This is a back and forth game. This is a very, very scrappy game, which sometimes make for the best games possible. Unfortunately, the last damage dealing unit for the Protoss player is